Hi, everybody. I am so excited that it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Today is the 8th, May 8th. Very excited to hang out with y'all tonight. Grab whatever you need to get comfortable and cozy, and we'll see you back here in about 30 seconds. Hi, everybody. I feel like I have just been, I don't know, like just so overwhelmed with life lately. I have a big bunny in my yard. Oh my gosh. I am so excited to see bunnies. I'm not like a gardener. I'm not a person who is good at like planting stuff and like flowers and stuff like that. So I think bunnies are wonderful in my backyard, but I know for folks who like garden and that's like their thing, bunnies are such a nuisance. But I'm like, oh, a bunny. I still get super excited. My husband still like makes fun of me to this day because I'm like such a city girl at heart. I grew up on the north side and I can't find the cap to this. This is driving me nuts. Here it is. Found it. And so now that we've lived in the suburbs forever now, but I still get like way overly excited when I see a deer or bunnies. So that's where my brain just went. It like poofed, it went away because there was a bunny walking by, bouncing by. But hi, I feel like I'm just excited to hang out tonight. Kind of a lot of different things to chat about and like catch up with. But if you are joining us, I'd love for you to say hello in the comments. All of April, we had guests on the show. We had guest authors, which was so lovely. It was so nice to be able to like sit down. And all of them were like local authors, which was so cool. So make sure if you missed any of those, go back and review because we have so many incredible authors in Illinois that are available for like, author visits and book study, like all of these different things, and like all very relevant to the students that we all serve, right? Our multilingual students, our multicultural students. So make sure you check those out. And it's a great way too to just like learn about new releases and stuff like that too. So anyway, check that out if you've missed any of that. As always, though, you guys, I do have to give. Look at my Shih Tzu. He's very angry. Come here, honey. Come here. He has the door just cracked open. You can see it a little bit, right? Like there's like this big of a crack. He could open it. He chooses not to. But let me show you guys. I've got my jammies on tonight. But look at his little tie. Can you say hi, Honu? Look at his tie. Where's his little bow tie? His groomer is the best. Because every time he gets groomed, she puts a little bow tie on him. It's just the cutest thing. He looks so fancy. All right, now the door's open. You can leave. He's like, oh, no. Now I'm staying here. Shih Tzus, you guys. They're just delightful. But anyway, lots to update you guys about because upcoming events, a lot of upcoming events. And you guys have heard me talk about this, but EmpowerCon is coming up this summer, 3 different locations. It's going to be so good. Like every time we have another meeting about it, like an IRC meeting about it, it just makes me more and more excited. But I was checking registration numbers and in fact, I put it on our IRC TikTok. So if you aren't following us on TikTok, make sure you search Illinois Resource Center because we're on there. So follow us. But I was just looking at registration numbers and I'm excited, but I'm also like, we're running out of space. Like spots are limited because it's a free event. And the Palos Hills and the Wheeling location were almost at max capacity, you guys. We're almost maxed out. So make sure you register. And if you want to bring a friend, a teammate, get them registered. Because I don't want you guys to miss out. Like it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So keep that in mind. In fact, if you are joining us on Facebook, I'm going to drop the link here. It's been a while since I've done this, so hopefully you guys can see it. If you're watching this on YouTube or on Twitter, you might not see it. No, it looks like it showed up on YouTube. Facebook also has the link now. So if you're not registered, it's right there in the comments. Go ahead and check it out because I don't want you guys to miss that. So we'll be in 3 different spots. Again, it's free. It's fantastic. We just had the IRC ISB State BPAC Summit over this past weekend. I couldn't be there because I was out of town, but there were so many incredible like posts and pictures and videos, and teams of families showed up in their team t-shirts. It was so cool. So even if you didn't have a team there rocking team t-shirts, that's all right. That's not necessary, but it was just so cool. And again, I loved hearing all of the stories of connection and learning and collaboration and like inspiration. So that was a wonderful event. So if you missed out this year, make sure you put it in your calendar for next year. It's always like that first weekend of May. It's a Saturday. It's in Oak Brook. Again, phenomenal event. And I have to give a shout out to everyone at the IRC who really worked so tirelessly to make that event what it was. It was incredible. So if you were there, you know what I'm talking about. So we talked about EmpowerCon. We talked about the BPAC Summit that just happened. We also have another really cool event. And I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the comments right here now. And this is an event that is happening next week, you guys. So if you are a middle school educator, if you are like bilingual, dual language, multilingual, whatever, and you teach in the middle school or junior high, this is an event that we are partnering with the AIMS network. So AIMS stands for, oh gosh, I hope I don't get this wrong, Association of Illinois Middle Schools. Is that correct? I believe that's correct. So if you are an AIMS network member, this is a free event for you. If you're not a member, it's $45, but then you get like a membership. So like you're in the network for a year. So it's fantastic. And this event is going to be held at Carl Sandburg Middle School in Mundelein. So Mundelein is like north suburbs. But it's going to be a wonderful event. We're going to be talking about LTELs. We're going to be talking about newcomers, and we're also going to be talking about access data. Okay. And we'll talk tonight a little bit about access data too, because I know all of us are like, and there's also going to be some collaboration time. So it's like a half a day. It's in the morning. So if you teach middle school, you might want to hit up that event and get registered for that. So that's an event. What else do we got? We talked about EmpowerCon. We talked about AIMS. Oh, another one I wanted to tell you guys about because I want to make sure that y'all don't miss this. This is a really, really cool event. So my colleague Michelle has this really cool, it's like a 3-day event. It's a 3-day like workshop series on writing with multilingual learners. And I know that is always like a request we get in terms of like professional learning for teams. So it's June 11th, 12th, and 13th. So all of that information is on our website. But again, it's going to be just one of those like, it's so good. I love learning from Michelle. My colleague Maggie has a really it's almost full. I think it's a virtual session next week. I'll double check the date, but it's on supporting newcomers, and all of us are so hungry for tools and resources, right, for supporting newcomers. So definitely check that out because Maggie is so good. She's brilliant. And she speaks in a way that just like, it feels very accessible. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like, oh no, I can't do that. Like she's just really good about connecting and making you feel like you can do that. Like you got this, you can. So I'm so excited. See, we've got a lot of folks saying they signed up for the PD. That's fantastic. Oh, I can't even tell you. I'll tell you the first word. It says spicy, but I can't say the rest. But it's got like a beverage on it. So I'll say that. She was asking what my sweatshirt says. Yes. And do I have something for bilingual parents advisory? So we do have a series, and I believe it just wrapped. And this is a series that my colleague, let me pull it up real quick and see if I can find it. My colleague Adelicia runs this. I'm going to put the link in the comments just so you see it, because I want to make sure you have access to it. But it is a series that Adelicia does. It is English and Spanish. She does sessions like in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. And this one, I believe it just wrapped, or it's about to just wrap. This series in particular was about students who are dually identified. So they're multilingual, but they also have IEPs. Really phenomenal thing. A lot of BPACs do watch parties where they put Adelicia up on the screen, and like the whole BPAC comes and they like come to, your school district office or wherever you host your meetings, and then you watch it together. And then one person kind of comes over to the chat so that you can interact with Adelicia, because it is a live session. So lots of cool things there, you guys. Lots of cool things. So a lot of upcoming events. Always more to come. So make sure you guys are following us on all the social medias, right? We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. I'm still going to call it Twitter. I'm sorry. YouTube, LinkedIn, all of it. So we're going to keep adding as time goes here. But I wanted to let you guys know about all of those different things happening, because we got a lot happening. Okay. So tonight we shared about a few upcoming events, which is really exciting, really, really good stuff. And I also wanted to chat about a few things. I want to chat about some new releases, a lot of really cool new books out, and I don't even have them all yet, but I'll share about the ones that I got. We'll talk a little bit about access data. And then, because it's Teacher Appreciation Week, I wanted to reference this book. This is one that I often talk about when I talk to leaders of teams. This one is called Lead with Appreciation. So I'm going to hold it up on the screen just for another minute. The author, my copy is pretty old, you guys. I reference this one a lot. Amber Tiemann and Melinda Miller. Okay. But in this book, because it's Teacher Appreciation Week, I hope that wherever you are, in whatever school district you are in, I hope that you feel supported and appreciated, particularly this week. But I also acknowledge that all of us have very different appreciation styles. And that idea of appreciation styles didn't really occur to me until I read this book. It's so good. So I definitely recommend this. It talks about different appreciation styles, but it also references like the idea that we don't always receive appreciation in the way that makes the most sense for us. So sometimes, like this week, I see a lot of like posts from folks who are like, if you really want to appreciate me, don't get me a mug. Or like, if you really want to appreciate me, advocate for increased teacher pay or a fair contract. Or if you really want to appreciate me, like, let me do my job. There's like all these different things. Like, I don't need another mug, those kind of things. So anyway, I think it again ties back into this idea that like we need to know how we each individually feel the most appreciated. And if we're a leader, we got to tap into the different appreciation styles of those we serve, because we want everybody to feel, right? Like a sense of like you are seen and you are loved and you are heard, and we'll advocate for you and we'll fight for you. And, we want you to keep doing great work. So I wanted to reference that because it's a really great book. Okay. So upcoming events, Teacher Appreciation Week. All right. So now let's talk about access data, and then I'm going to jump over to new releases. So access data here in Illinois, we were anticipating that we were going to get our access preliminary data like 2 days ago, I think it was, right? May 6th, I think was on our calendars. And then we found out that no, it got pushed. It got pushed back a little bit. And while I know that that's been a source of frustration for a lot of us, because like some of us like even planned for like meetings where we were going to like unpack the data or review the data together. And now that gets pushed back and we're running out of school year, right? Like it's just so frustrating. So I want us to like just very quickly take a peek at a tool. So you guys know I love WIDA. I'm a WIDA girly. Love it, love it, love it. Like as an organization. I will say I have seen these posted. Yes, right? Yeah, Day to Day got canceled. Totally. So this is interesting because like while we had that block of time all carved out and we're running out of school year now, and it's again super, super frustrating. I do want us to remember while we're still waiting for that data, we can still review certain components, certain pieces. So I linked in the comments and it showed up on the Facebook comments and the YouTube comments. So if you're watching us on Twitter, maybe move over to another one or just Google it. What I linked was the, let me see, check the title here. The Access for ELLs Interpretive Guide for Score Reports, grades 1 through 12, spring 2024. Now, when you click on that link, it'll take you to the WIDA site and it'll give you the PDF. And I want to say, what does it say? The PDF is 19 pages. And you might be like, girl, we don't have time to read 19 pages. And I know, I know, but also maybe you don't have time to read all of it. But what I really, really want for teachers to look at is the difference between the proficiency level scores and the scale scores. Okay. And WIDA puts this out every year. And again, it's like one of those, it's May. We're all so busy. It's just, our to-do lists are crazy. We're burnt out and we're tired and all of it. But if you have like a time designated to review data as a team, take like 10 minutes, 7 minutes to just review even just the pages that talk about the difference between the scale scores and the proficiency level scores. So on this year's, I believe I'm scrolling on my screen here. I believe starting on page 4, going into page 5. Yeah, page 4 and 5 talk about the difference between those two scores. So like proficiency level scores, I will say like, for a long time, that those are the scores that I looked at, was just the proficiency scores, just the like the decimal numbers. But when we're trying to monitor growth from year to year, we shouldn't be looking at the proficiency scores. We should be looking at the scale scores. That's the 3-digit scores. So again, a good thing just for us to review together as teams. And then let me also say, so again, the document is great. It's 19 pages. All of it's great. But if you don't have a lot of time, make sure you review the difference between those two sets of scores. Okay. The other thing that I'll say about this, whenever we get back our access scores, like you can do this now for the preliminary scores, and then you can review it again for when we get our actual, like the scores, like the official scores. Make sure that everybody in the system owns that data, because access data is not multilingual department data. It is school-wide data. Friends, access data is school data. Language learning and like our English language journeys don't just happen, and they don't just grow and develop when they're in the EL classroom or when they're with their EL teacher or ML teacher. Language learning happens everywhere. It happens in PE, in art, in drama, and in the cafeteria. It happens in science and social studies and math and every single consumer science, all of the classes. And that's everybody's data to hold on to with both hands, right? It's not just the EL teacher's data. So that is one message that we want to make sure we're bringing back to our schools, our teams. So while I think it is super duper important for the ML team to just come together and wrap our heads around our data and like, how many exits do we have? Cool. How many students grew? How are we breaking it down by domain? Let's check out listening. How are we doing with listening? Let's look at grade levels. How are we doing with speaking and writing? That's always those are always the two domains I think that a lot of us are like, right? Because we say, oh man, if our student just got a little bit higher in speaking, they would have exited. Or if they would have just gotten a little higher in writing, they would have exited. And kind of related to that, we want to also make sure that, because I know I have said it, and I've heard all of us have said it, I think at some point, right? We have said, oh, the writing domain develops last, or the speaking develops last. And I know why we say that, but our colleagues might not know why we say that. So we got to be like, we got to be careful, because those domains don't actually develop last. All of our domains, reading, writing, listening, and speaking, all of them are developing all at the same time. They're developing simultaneously. What we usually mean, my thing is running low. Oh, my thing is not plugged in. Momentito here. I've got my cord right here, you guys. See, I'm all prepared. I mean, not really, but okay. So all of the domains are developing at the same time. But the reason why folks have said like, oh, it develops last. No, it doesn't develop last. But oftentimes those two domains, the writing and the speaking, we need to nurture the conditions for students to feel safe enough to take linguistic risks in the classroom, in science, in math, in social studies, in all the content areas, so that they can, right, increase opportunities to practice speaking and practice writing and get valuable feedback. So those domains don't develop last. So we want to just be careful whenever we're looking at data and unpacking it, especially with grade level, like classroom teachers, content teachers. If they don't have like the ESL lens or the EL lens, they might hear us say, oh, speaking develops last. Oh, writing develops last. Oh, then we won't worry about that yet. Like, and we want to like, hang on, we do need to worry about that. We need to provide lots and lots of opportunities for students to have low stakes, moments to practice speaking and writing. And I always share, there's like this shocking statistic. And I don't think I don't have it pulled up on my screen today. So you'll have to like message me and be like, Carly, where's that link? But it was referenced in Ivania Soto in her work. And we heard the news, right, about Ivania Soto. She was an incredible valuable member of the multilingual field. And we just recently learned of her passing. And so we're sending all of our love to her family and friends, but she made such a huge impact on our field. And so this is the second edition of her book, and it's called Shadowing Multilingual Learners. But this is a book, like if you teach secondary, if you teach even like middle school, junior high, or secondary, read this book. It's so good. But in this book, that's where I pulled the statistic about speaking. And it was like something like in a 60-minute block of like a classroom. So like an 11th grade science classroom, for example, if it's 60 minutes long, about how many minutes do students have to speak about the content, not speak about like, their weekend, but speak about the content. And the statistic was like 14 to 52 seconds of 60 minutes. Like, isn't that wild? Like, oh, that's crazy. That's wild. And then we also, like, we take that data or we take that fact and we're like, oh, and then we get our speaking scores back and we're like, why are our speaking scores so low? We might want to unpack that a little bit, right? About just opportunity. So anyway, this is a great book. This is not a new release, but it's still really fantastic, and you should add it to your cart because it's wonderful. Okay, so access data. So yeah, make sure that you guys go in and review the Access for EL's interpretive guide for score reports. And I'll also say this too, and I don't know if it's buried. I was going to say, I can show you guys what I did. At the back of that, they have the proficiency level descriptors. They have the grade 1 through 12. They have it broken down by domain. So they have like a page for reading, a page for listening, each domain. It's fantastic. No, I was going to say, I'll see if I can pull it up, but it'll take me too long. You guys, my office is like a disaster zone. I have so much stuff, like just piles of stuff everywhere. It's really bad. So if you have a messy desk, We're twinsies. We're twinsies, you guys. But anyway, it's in the back of that manual. It's the final pages. And then they have a separate one for kindergarten proficiency level descriptors. And again, broken down by domain. So that could be a great tool to then take. And then as we're unpacking, once we get our data, oh, look, Big Dog came. You guys see the big dog over there? Oh, he left. But that could be something that we take as a tool to give to classroom or content teachers as we think about, planning for next year. Let's see what else, you guys. I feel like I had so much stuff to say, and now I'm like, my brain is like, I was just getting tired. And I don't even think I told you guys I need to put my blue light glasses on. Some of you guys know, but my big dog, I'm so mad at my big dog. A few weeks ago, I was walking him, and he pulled on the leash so hard and so fast that I didn't have time to even break my fall, but I fell flat on the concrete, bumped my head, had a concussion that just wiped me out. It was so bad, you guys. So me and my big dog are very upset. My Shih Tzu would never do that to me, I tell you what. But the big dog, he sure did. But he felt bad. He's a good boy. He's just very large. I'm not used to having Great Danes. I'm a tiny dog girl. Okay, so now let's go ahead and shift in. That's why I was like, I need to use my blue light glasses. I keep forgetting. And I've been recovering pretty well, and I've been feeling really, really good the last few weeks. But I will say screen time still kind of aggravates me. So I got to make sure I put these on when I'm on a screen. But now let's go ahead and shift, because I want to talk about some new releases, and these are really fantastic. So the first one, I'm going to go ahead and drop it in the comments here, you guys. And maybe this isn't new to you, but I just saw it posted. So Michelle Shorey posted it on Twitter or X or whatever it is a few weeks ago. And she's like, oh, wow, this is such a powerful film. And I was like, oh, I got to stop what I'm doing. And I watched it, and I was like, oh, bawling, you guys. It was so powerful. And so I linked that, the link to the website where you can find this film. It's a short film, and I want to make sure I get it right. So it's called Translators, The Untold Story of Children Who Give a Voice to Generations. Isn't that beautiful? What a powerful descriptor. The director was Rudy Valdez. And then there's a hashtag Translators Film to engage with other folks about, just dialogue about this, this thing. So in this film, it's about, if I remember right, about 20 some minutes, 22 minutes. So this would be a really powerful thing to do with teammates and staff, definitely as the ML team or the dual language team, bilingual team, definitely y'all, if you're like me, you will be sobbing through it. But so it follows 3 different students, 11-year-old Denzel, 13-year-old Addie, and 16-year-old Virginia. And it just kind of shows the responsibilities that they have, in addition to being students full-time, right? How they support their families in navigating life by providing language access to their parents and caregivers. It is so good, you guys. So again, if you click on that link, it's translatorsfilm.com. You can see the trailer, and you can also see the full film. Rudy Valdez, incredible director. And I want to say this won a whole bunch of awards too, at different film festivals and stuff. But again, definitely recommend it. And again, another shout out to Michelle Shorey, because that's where I learned of it. And I believe it was made in 2019, but just phenomenal, you guys. Okay. Other releases I want to share with you guys. I have two picture books that are newer. They're newer. So this one is called Free to Learn, How Alfredo Lopez Fought for the Right to Go to School. So I'm going to hold this up on the screen so you have time to Google it or screenshot it if you need to. Add it to your Amazon wish list or your cart, wherever you get your books. But this is really good because let me see if I can find it. Because there is I want to say there's an author's note. Yeah. Okay. And I love books that have a quick little author's note at the back, because this is a historical case, right? This is Plyler Doe. And this was like, what, 1977? I don't remember correctly. So if you have it in the comments, add it in. But it talks about that particular court case. Hi. Are you excited? This is a good book, isn't it? Yeah. He approves. He gives it 2 paws up. But really, really good book. So they give a little bit of historical context at the back of the book. And then throughout the book, it shows kind of like the narrative, like the story behind the court case. No, boys. No. We're not doing that today. We're not. Go get a cookie. Go get a cookie over there. Oh, I don't have a cookie. Go over there and get a cookie. Oh my gosh. All right. We're going to say no to concussions this evening. But definitely recommend, free to learn. Good for us to know about. I learned a lot from this text. Boys, I'm trying to talk. This reminds me of, have you guys seen like, I don't think it was recent, but like the girl who lives on a farm and she has an emu named Emmanuel, and Emmanuel keeps like coming in and like cutting her off, and that's what these dogs are doing. All right, boys, come on. Let's go out of the room. There we go. Sorry, Cooper. Okay, so you guys see the door is closed. My Great Dane learned how to open the door. So we'll see if he busts back in here. But anyway, great book. The other book I wanted to tell you guys about. So this one was new to me, and I believe it is like a recently published book. I want to say 2024, like this year. Double check. Yeah, 2024. But somebody in one of the Facebook groups, I love our Facebook groups like ESL, K-12, and advocating for ELs, and or advocating for MLs, leading ELLs, like all these good Facebook groups. It's where I learn a lot about like a lot of cool resources and definitely books. But somebody had posted this book, and it was like something I had never heard of before. And I was like, add to cart, like instantly. But the title caught me, and I was like, oh, because the title alone is like one of those that make you go, ooh, and it's called The Rock in My Throat. The Rock in My Throat. Okay. So I'm going to hold this up so you can, again, just if you need to grab a screenshot of it. Okay. This is really powerful, you guys. So I grabbed this, and again, this is another one of those books that like you get really choked up reading it. Okay. So on the inside jacket here, I just want to read the little blurb. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Kalia will never tell her mother about the moment she decided to stop speaking English. There is a rock in her throat, and it grows heavier by the day. And the illustrations are incredible. Really, really incredible. And there are different moments where like you could stop reading. And again, this would be a good like book study for adults, like, right, as us as teachers serving students. This one is so powerful. And it kind of hits on like the overlap between being a newcomer student and being fearful of making a mistake, or being overly corrected in front of your peers, or just the anxiety of speaking a language that you don't feel like super comfortable with yet, right? Based on where you are in your language journey in English. And so the overlap between like that newcomer experience and selective mutism. So I haven't seen a whole lot of resources that show that overlap. And so I was thrilled to read this book and add it to my library. And then I also found, and I put it in like one of those sleeves. I'll take it out of the sleeves. But I found like a book study kind of guide. And so I think I have it. Yeah, I have it linked. No, I don't. I don't have it linked. No, because I was going to say, I thought I found a resource. This is it. It's from learnerbooks.com. So I'm going to put this in the chat right here so you guys have it. But this is where I found, it's just like a printable, and it has discussion questions. Yeah, I believe that's the link, learnerbooks.com. And then you click on the little thing that says eSource, free teaching guides. And then there's like a little thing that says downloads, and you click on that, and then it gives you a little guide that you can click on and download. It's a PDF, but it gives you, again, really, really good discussions, questions. So there's a few that are like before reading and then during reading, and it highlights like different parts of the book. It calls out illustrations in the book. And like, why did the author write it and who did the author write it for? It's just so, so good. So if you don't have this one, add it to your list. It's phenomenal. Okay. All right, you guys. What time is it? 7:35. Holy cow, I need to stop talking. Okay. 2 quick things, and then I'm going to stop talking. Okay. 2 other releases. So I will start with this one. This is a good one. So this one's a professional book. This is Social Emotional Learning for Multilingual Learners. I'm going to come a little closer here. Essential Actions for Success. Diane Sayer-Fenner and Mindy Teich. And please forgive me, Mindy, if I mispronounced your name. I didn't mean to, and you can absolutely correct me and teach me your name so that I say it correctly, because I want to honor that. But you guys, I think a lot of us are hungry for a resource that gives us like practical tools and strategies and like even some templates and stuff that helps support SEL efforts as we serve multilingual students. Particularly, I keep having dialogue about like newcomer students, because a lot of us are experiencing more and more newcomer students. Definitely check this one out. This is a Corwin book. So that means we get a discount, because if we use the code SOCIAL25 in all caps, like no spaces, that gives you free shipping and 25% off. So it's really, really cool. But like even like, so I just opened to a random page, and this one is like a student goal setting template for English language development, and it breaks it down by domain. So here's one for like speaking. And then we also got like a student goal setting template for class projects, which is like everything you can think of. Here's an ML relationship building anticipation guide, like every single thing. And so if we were to take a look at I should have flagged this, I'm sorry, the table of contents. So chapter 1, why SEL matters. I don't even know. Can you see that? Not really well. Why SEL matters, the SEL framework for MLs, fostering, this is number 3, fostering ML's access to self-awareness. Okay. Number 4, fostering ML's access to self-management. Chapter 5 is fostering ML's access to social awareness. 6 is fostering access to relationship skills. And then 7 is responsible decision-making. 8, the final chapter of the book, is taking the next steps to implement SEL with our MLs. So check that one out. I'm very excited about it. I have flipped through it. I haven't read it all yet, but I'm hoping to very soon. Tomorrow I am headed off to Michigan for a conference I'm really, really pumped about. But I'm hoping to take that one with me so I can start going through it. And then the other one I'm so excited about, if you teach middle school or high school, this is it. So I know a lot of us are going to look at this book and say, this is familiar, Carly. Why is this familiar? It's familiar because we have this book, you guys. We have this book. It's called Growing Language and Literacy. And this is Andrea Honigsfeld, the Dr. Andrea Honigsfeld. She's incredible. We know her. We love her. I have, I think, a gazillion of her books. And you guys, she keeps publishing more and more. She just posted one yesterday. And I think I screenshotted it. I don't want to get the title wrong, but it looks so good. Okay, I have it right here. It's called Collaboration for Multilingual Learners with Exceptionalities. This one doesn't come out until July, but it's also a Corwin book. So you can use that discount code once. I have an ant on my phone. Okay. You guys, my brain is like, but anyway, we have this book. A lot of us have this book, Growing Language and Literacy. So this is the edition that is the 612. In fact, just the other night, I think it was last night. Today's Wednesday. Yeah, it was last night. She did like a book launch celebration online, which was really, really cool. Oh no, this isn't a Corwin book. This is Heinemann. Sorry. She publishes with so many, you guys. Again, so many books. She did a lot with like co-teaching, co-planning. So if you're looking for any kind of support with that in your district, definitely use her book as like her books as a reference point. Book study book, phenomenal. But yeah, this is the 612. So if you teach middle school, junior high, and high school, you'll definitely want to order this one. I love it because if you take a look at all the color. And there's so many pictures. There's so many like anecdotes from folks in the field who are doing this work, right? Really, really good. Really good. So had to recommend this one. And then I have a few other books that I think are on their way to me. And again, like some books that are coming out this summer. Valentina Gonzalez, we love her. We love her. She just announced a book. I want to say that comes out in 2025. But it looks so good, you guys. Oh man. If you have any great new releases, either picture books, professional resources, let us know in the comments so that we can all continue to add to cart. Do you guys have like an Amazon cart that's like full, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars? Because I feel like I keep doing that. I should use the wish list function, but for whatever reason, I don't. I add it to cart, and then later, if I need to make like an actual Amazon purchase, I move it to like save for later or something like that. So yeah, I need to get that together. And I need to keep these on my face. I don't know why I keep moving them. Okay, I have talked long enough. It is 7:40, you guys. I'm going to go take a walk, try to get my big dog going. I don't walk my big dog anymore. I make my husband or my son do it because I'm too scared. I will walk my Shih Tzu forever. You guys, I don't know if you can see this. Let me move my camera. Can you see? He looks so sad. He's sitting at the door like... So I will go out, take him for a walk. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I hope you feel appreciated. We love you. We appreciate you at the IRC. Keep doing what you're doing. Take breaks. Advocates say no. Advocates take breaks. Advocates celebrate themselves and the work that they do in order to sustain ourselves through the rest of the school year. I will be back next week to hang out with y'all, talk about some more stuff. But hopefully I'll see some of you at the Ames event next week on Tuesday at Sandburg Middle School in Mundelein. And hopefully I'll see a lot of you at EmpowerCon this summer. It's going to be so much fun. And yeah, have a great evening, everyone. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.